if you can get a car that looks like a traditional, like a proper car, rather than a plastic car that's run on batteries.
I think we'll all end up driving green cars in the future, won't we?
Hello from the Eden Project in Cornwall. We're here to see the first eco-car exhibition in the world, and it's called the Sexy Green Car Show. We're going to find out what's so sexy about these cars.
There are those who think that love comes with a lifetime guarantee, but we know from those around us that this may not always be.
Visitors today at the showroom can have a look at models such as Saab's latest biodiesel model, Ford's bioethanol car, and even an eco-friendly sports racing car.
Yeah, well, the car that we have here is the D1 Lola Le Mans prototype. It's a 5-litre V10 engine, and it runs on a mixture of regular diesel and 50% biodiesel, which is made from the seeds of the Jatropha tree. Well, Jatropha grows in latitudes about 30 degrees above and 30 degrees below the equator, and it doesn't require very good quality soils. So we're not going to be, by planting Jatropha, we're not going to be removing land from food production. You've got two sorts of biofuels. One is ethanol, which is basically an alcohol-based fuel, which is made from grain, and you've got biodiesel, which is essentially oil, which is made largely from seeds like this one. Most people in, say, somewhere like the UK, from April next year, your fuel at the pump will be mixed with 2.5% of a biodiesel made from products like this.
The granddaddy of vegetarian cars, in 1916 a Model T was designed by Henry Ford to run on ethanol or grain alcohol. Sure, it's taken us a long time to catch up. What's so green about this car?
Well, first of all, the Blue Motion badging will denote the most fuel-efficient Volkswagen in each range. We've got our 1.4 litre turbo diesel engine, which has been reworked to be slightly more efficient. It's got very long gearing, so when you're in fifth gear, travelling at 70 miles an hour, the engine's only doing 2,000 RPM. It's more aerodynamic and it's slightly lighter than the standard model, so this gives an overall combined fuel consumption figure of 72.4 miles per gallon and a CO2 rating of 102 grams per kilometre. But it's not slow, it's still got a good power to weight ratio, maximum speed of 109 miles an hour, so it'll still be fun to drive.
The transport sector is the third largest source of CO2 emissions in the UK, and while air travel does continue to rise, actually the largest part of the increase in emissions that we're going to see in the next decade is due to road transport. How does the smart EV work? Well, it's pretty simple, you just plug it in. It's just a standard 3-pin plug. Problem is, how do you get clean electricity? One tip to help you decide just how sexy in green terms a car is the not so sexy sounding CO2 emissions per kilometre. Now, new cars will have to provide this information, and you can easily tell from these banded efficiency labels, much like fridges, just how efficient a car is.
Well, the Vauxhall Zafira is a hydrogen car. It just runs purely on hydrogen. It won't be available till about 2010. How it works is it actually interacts with oxygen from the air, which then creates electricity and therefore gives off a water vapour which has no emissions whatsoever.
Now that's quite sexy. So there's a lot people can do, even with the cars they actually currently have, to be more fuel efficient.
I mean, the driver has the biggest effect on fuel consumption. First of all, if you don't need air conditioning on, switch it off, because that adds about 10% to the fuel consumption. Don't brake unnecessarily. When you apply the brakes, you're throwing energy away. If you're accelerating unnecessarily, going flat out up through the gears only to brake again, try and stop doing that. And when you're cruising, always be in the highest gear that the car is comfortable in, because that again will save fuel. So the driver can make an enormous difference, a ratio of 2-to-1 even in fuel consumption.
The show is open until April the 15th and is sponsored by Co-op Insurance, the first eco-car insurance in the UK. Now, some of these cars will be available in the market, but some of them may never reach the market, or it may be a very long time before they do. Now listen to this. If everyone switched to the most efficient car within its class right now, car emissions could go down by 1/3.
There are more environmentally friendly ways of driving today than there ever have been. And the public coming through the doors today have been entranced by the innovations and the unusual cars.
Do you think you might look to buy a green car in the future?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely when they become available. Yeah.
Eventually when they come down in price and the fuel is there, certainly this biodiesel looks very good.
What did you think of the show, of the Sexy Green Car Show?
I thought it was really great. I think it's really, it's fantastic. So many in the motoring industry majors are taking this seriously.
Great, thank you. And if you want to find out more about the Eden Project and the car show here, go to www.edenproject.com.